Hello, Shalom. Welcome to day 49 of Daily Bread. We'll be in Exodus 10, 1 Samuel 10, Proverbs 18, Job 2, and Songs of Songs 3. We'll be in the Scriptures 2009, Exodus chapter 10 is on page 66. And Yahweh said to Moshe, Go into Pharaoh, for I have hardened his heart and the hearts of his servants, so that I show these signs of mine before him, and that you relate in the hearing of your son and your son's son that I have done in Mizraim, and my signs which I have done among them, and you shall know that I am Yahweh. And Moshe and Aaron came in to Pharaoh and said to him, Thus said Yahweh, Elohim of the Hebrews, Till when shall you refuse to humble yourself before me? Let my people go so they serve me. Or else, if you refuse to let my people go, see, tomorrow I am bringing locusts within your borders, and they shall cover the surface of the land, so that no one is able to see the land, so that they shall eat the rest of what has escaped, which remains to you from the hail, and they shall eat every tree which grows up for you out of the field. And they shall fill your houses, and the houses of all your servants, and the houses of all Mizraim, which neither your fathers nor your fathers' fathers have seen since the day that they were on the earth to this day. Then he turned and went out from Pharaoh, and Pharaoh's servants said to him, Till when would this one be a snare to us? Let the men go, so that they serve Yahweh, their Elohim. Do you not yet know that Mizraim is destroyed? And Moshe and Aaron were brought back to Pharaoh, and he said to them, Go serve Yahweh your Elohim. Who are the ones that are going? And Moshe said, We are going with our young and our old, and with our sons and our daughters, and with our flocks and our herds we are going, for we have a festival to Yahweh. And he said to them, Let Yahweh be with you, as I let you and your little ones go. Watch, for evil is before your face. Not so the men go now and serve Yahweh, for that is what you desire. And they were driven out from the presence of Pharaoh. And Yahweh said to Moshe, Stretch out your hand over the land of Mizraim, for the locusts to come upon the land of Mizraim, and eat every plant of the land, and all that the hail has left. And Moshe stretched out his rod over the land of Mizraim, and Yahweh brought an east wind on the land, and all that day and all that night morning came, and the east wind brought the locust. And locusts went up over all the land of Mizraim, and settled within all the borders of Mizraim, very grievous. There had never been locusts like them before, nor would there be like them again. And they covered the surface of all the land, so that the land was darkened. And they ate every plant of the land, and all the fruit of the trees which the hail had left. And no greenness was left on the trees, or the plants of the field, or in the land of Mizraim. And Pharaoh called for Moshe and Aaron in haste, and said, I have sinned against Yahweh your Elohim, and against you. And now please forgive my sin only this once, and pray to Yahweh your Elohim, that he would only turn away his death from me. And he went out from Pharaoh and prayed to Yahweh. And he turned a very strong west wind, which took the locusts away, and blew them into the sea of reeds. Not one locust was left within the border of Mizraim. However, Yahweh strengthened the heart of Pharaoh, and he did not let the children of Israel go. And Yahweh said to Moshe, Stretch out your hand toward the heavens, and let there be darkness over the land, even as darkness which it felt. And Moshe stretched out his hand toward the heavens, and there was thick darkness in all the land of Mitzrayim for 3 days. They did not see one another, nor did anyone rise from his place for 3 days, while all the children of Israel had light in their dwellings. And Pharaoh called to Moshe and said, Go serve Yahweh, only leave your flocks and your herds behind. Let your little ones go with you too. But Moshe said, You yourself are to provide us with slaughterings and ascending offerings, to prepare for Yahweh our Elohim, and our livestock are to go with us. Not a hoof is to be left behind, for we have to take some of them to serve Yahweh our Elohim, and we ourselves do not know what we are to serve Yahweh until we come there. However, Yahweh strengthened the heart of Pharaoh. He would not let them go. And Pharaoh said to him, Get away from me, watch yourself, and see my face no more, for in the day you see my face, you die. And Moshe said, You have spoken rightly. Never again do I see your face. The end of Exodus 10. On to 1 Samuel chapter 10 on page 289. And Samuel took a flask of oil and poured it on his head and kissed him and said, It is not because Yahweh has anointed you leader over his inheritance. This is to Saul. When you leave me today, you shall find 2 men by Rahel's burial place in the border of Benjamin at Terseloth. And they shall say to you, The donkeys which you went to look for have been found. And see, your father has left the matters of the donkeys, and is worrying about you, saying, What shall I do for my son? And you shall pass on from there and beyond, and you shall come to the terebinth tree of Tabor. And 3 men going up to Elohim at Bethel shall find you there, one bearing 3 young goats, another bearing 3 loaves of bread, and another bearing a skin of wine. And they shall greet you, and give you 2 loaves of bread, which you shall accept from their hand. After that, go into the hill of Elohim, where the Philistine watchpost is. And it shall be, when you come there to the city, that you shall meet a group of prophets coming down from the high place, with a stringed instrument, and a tambourine, and a flute, and a lyre before them. And they are prophesying, and the Spirit of Yahweh shall come upon you, and you shall prophesy with them, and turn into another man. And it shall be, when these signs come to you, do for yourself as your hand finds to do, for Elohim is with you. And you shall go down before me to Gilead. And see, I am coming down to you to offer ascending offering and slaughtering offerings of peace offerings. Wait 7 days till I come to you. Then I shall make known to you what you should do. And it came to be, when he turned back go from Samuel, that Elohim gave him another heart. And all the signs came on that day. And they came near to the hill, and saw a group of prophets to meet him. And the Spirit of Elohim came upon him, and he prophesied in their midst. And it came to be, all who knew him formerly looked, and saw that the prophesied among the prophets. So the people said to each other, What is this that has come upon the son of Kish? Is Saul also among the prophets? And the man there answered and said, And who is their father? Why is this? That is why it became a proverb. Is Saul also among the prophets? And when he stopped prophesying, he went to the high place. And the uncle of Saul asked him and his servant, "Where did you go?" And he said, "To look for the donkeys. And when we saw that they were nowhere to be found, we went to Samuel." And the uncle of Saul said, "Please inform me what Samuel said to you." And Saul said to his uncle, "He informed us plainly that the donkeys had been found, but he did not disclose to him about the matter of the rain that Samuel had said." And Samuel called the people together to Yahweh at Mizpah, and said to the children of Israel, "Thus said Yahweh, the Elohim of Israel, I have brought Israel up out of Mizraim, and delivered you from the hand of the Mizrites, and from the hand of all reigns from those who oppressed you. And today you have rejected your Elohim, who himself saved you out of your evils and your distresses. And you have said to him, No, but set a sovereign over us. And now present yourselves before Yahweh by your tribes and by your clans." And Samuel brought near all the tribes of Israel, and the tribes of Benjamin was taken. Then he brought near the tribe of Benjamin by their clans, and the clan of Matur was taken. And son of Saul, Saul, son of Kish, was taken. And when they sought him, he could not be found. And they asked again of Yahweh, "Has the man come here yet?" And Yahweh answered, "See, he has hidden by the baggage." And they ran and brought him from there, and he stood in the midst of the people. And he was taller than any of the people, from the shoulders and upwards. And Samuel said to all the people, "Do you see him who Yahweh has chosen? That there is no one like him among all the people." And all the people shouted and said, "Let the sovereign reign." And Samuel declared to the people the ruling of the reign, and wrote it in a book, and placed it before Yahweh. And Samuel sent all the people away, each to his own house. And Saul went to his house too, to Gilead, and with him went brave men, whose hearts Elohim had touched. And the sons of Belial said, "What does this one save us?" And they despised him, and brought him no presents, but he kept silent. Proverbs 18. On page 745. The separatist seeks his own desire. He breaks out against all sound wisdom. A fool does not delight in understanding, but in uncovering his own heart. When a wrong one comes, scorn comes too, and with shame comes reproach. The words of man's mouth are deep waters. The fountains of wisdom is a flowing stream. It is not good to show partiality to the wrong, or to turn aside the righteous in right ruling. A fool's lips enters into strife, and his mouth calls for blows. A fool's mouth is his ruin, and his lips are the snare of his life. The words of the slanderer are like delicacies, and they go down into the inner parts of the heart. Also, he who is slack in his work is a brother of a master destroyer. The name of Yahweh is a strong tower. The righteous run into it and are safe. The rich man's wealth is his strong city, and like a high wall in his own imagination. Before destruction the heart of a man is haughty, and before esteem is humility. He who answers a matter before he hears it is a folly and shame to him. The spirit of a man sustains him in sickness, But who does bear a broken spirit? The heart of the understanding one gets knowledge, and the ear of the wise seeks knowledge. A man's gift makes room for him, and brings him before great men. The first to state his own case seems right, until another comes and examines him. The lot settles disputes, and separate between the mighty. A brother transgressed against is a strong city, and contentions are like the bars of citadel. A man's stomach is satisfied from the fruit of his mouth. He is satisfied with the increase of his lips. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those loving to eat its fruit. He who has found the wife has found good, and receives favor from Yahweh. The poor speaks beseechly, but the rich answers fiercely. A man of many friends might come to ruin, but there is a loving one who sticks closer than a brother. Job 2 on page 760. Again the day came to be that the sons of Elohim came to present themselves before Yahweh, and Satan also came among them to present himself before Yahweh. And Yahweh said to Satan, "From where do you come?" And Satan answered Yahweh and said, "From diligently searching in the earth, and from walking up and down in it." And Yahweh said to Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job? And there is none like him on all the earth, a perfect and straight man, one who fears Elohim and turns aside from evil, and still holds fast to his integrity, although you incite me against him, to destroy him without cause." And Satan answered and said, "Skin for skin, and all that a man has he would give for his life. But stretch out your hand, please, and strike his bone and his flesh. It would not bless you to your if he would not bless you to your face." And Yahweh said to Satan, "See, he is in your hand. Only spare his life." And Satan went out from the presence of Yahweh, and struck Job with lonesome sores, from the sole of his foot to the crown of his head. And he took a potter's shed with which to scrape himself, while he sat in the midst of the ashes. And his wife said to him, "Do you still hold fast to your integrity? Bless Elohim and die?" But he said to her, "You speak as one of the foolish women speaks. Indeed, should we only accept good from Elohim and not accept evil?" And in all this, Job did not sin with his lips. And 3 of the friends of Job heard all this evil that came on him, and each one came to his own place, from his own place. Eliphaz the Temanite, and Bildad the Shuhite, and Zophar the Naamanite. And they met together to come to sympathize with him and to comfort him. And they lifted up their eyes from the distance and did not recognize him. They lifted their voices and wept, and each one tore his robe and sprinkled dust on his head toward the heavens. Then they sat down with him on the ground 7 days and 7 nights, and no one spoke a word to him, for they saw the pain was very great. Song of Songs on page 787. On my bed at night I sought the beloved of my being. I sought him, but I did not find him. Come, let me arise and go into the city. In the streets and in the broad places I seek the beloved of my being. I sought him, but I did not find him. The watchmen who go out about the city found me, to whom I said, Have you seen the beloved of my being? Scarcely I have passed by them. When I found the beloved of my being, I held him and would not let him go until I had brought him to the house of my mother, and in the room of her who conceived me. I have put you under oath, O daughters of Jerusalem, by the gazelles or by the does of the field. Do not stir up nor waken love until it pleases. Who is this coming out of the wilderness, like columns of smoke, perfumed with myrrh and frankincense, from all the merchants' fragrant powders? See, it is Solomon's coach. 60 men are around it, of the mighty men of Israel, all of them holding swords, skilled in battle. Each one has a sword on his thigh because of fear in the night. Sovereign Solomon made himself a litter of wood of Lebanon. He made its post of silver, its support of gold, its seat of purple. Within it was decked with love by the daughters of Jerusalem. Go forth, O daughters of Zion, and see sovereign Solomon with the crown with which his mother crowned him on the day of his wedding and on the day of his gladness of heart. Shalom. Make it a great day. Read your Bible. Talk to the Father.